So today's question is about block, AV block, features management, etc. So take your pens, papers for write, huh? And everything doesn't matter, my dear friends. À ce propos, re-listening this video several times to get the information under your skin. So let's go. When we talk about block, first of all, you receive the question block. It's me on the, if it's me on your big exams, so I wish you were here, huh? So you have to start with this. So notion or definition of block. So if when we use this definition, remember, in medicine, especially in medicine, I don't talk about even if it's a cardiology. Remember, block means late. So something that happening later than normal. Late. So late is block. When we talk about, by the way, when we talked about PQ interval or PR interval, previous lecture, we talked about AV delay. So delay, it's an acceptable time. Block is more than delay. We will talk about that. Okay, so let's go. Your ticket, AV block. AV block, so AV, it's an atrioventricular block. Atrio, upper chambers, ventricular, lower chambers, refers to a disruption in the electrical conduction between the atria and the ventricles of the heart. So this disruption can manifest as various degrees of impairment, ranging from partial to complete blockage of the electrical signals. That's why we have three types. First of all, we have to understand that when we see something on ECG, we have to answer three principal questions, my beloveds. First, what is electrical signs? What is the electrical features of the problem? What's happening physiologically? Second question. So we understand what's happening electrically. Now we have to answer the question, what's happening physiologically, my beloveds? And third question, what is a clinical issue of that? Okay, so electrically, physiologically, and clinically. So first degree AV block means that all signals are eventually transmitted, but so I see this notion in some books, but it's not correct at all. It's not more question about delay. It's more than delay. So because delay, definition delay means acceptable. AV block, it's a block, so no more delay. I read this nonsense in some books, unfortunately. No, my dear friends, AV block first degree, it's not a delay. It's a more than delay. Means that AV block first degree, we have all signals that eventually transmitted. Okay, so we have like a normal sinus rhythm, but PQ interval or PR interval is more than delay. So if you use this definition, AV block first degree, it's a more than delay, it's a quite correct. So what's happening physiologically? What's happening electrically? Electrically, we have the same normal sinus rhythm. Just remember, refreshing our memories, what is normal sinus rhythm? Presence of P before every QRS. The same pattern we've got here. We have P before every QRS. Yes, but PQ interval is more than delay, more than normal. That is, we remember upper limit of PQ or PR interval, 0.2 or 1/5 of a second. So what is, of course, we can see this pattern in bradycardia, especially in bradycardia, or normal rhythm tends to bradycardia. And we've got very often this pattern in night. At night, why? Because night is a kingdom of vagus. So AV block first degrees, clinically, in vast majority of cases, is nothing at all. Clinical issue of that, we do nothing with these people. We do not need to manage to treat this pattern. because AV block first degree, especially when we use Holter monitoring. Holter is Holter, if you remember what is Holter monitoring. So 24 hours ECG, we see this pattern in AV block first degree, so we do nothing during the night, at night, because this is a vagus parasympathetic activity, bradycardia, PQ interval, very often becomes AV block first degree. In athlete's heart, trained heart, or conditioning heart, we have AV block first degree, so we do nothing. In absolutely vast majority of cases. There are very, very rare exceptions, but anyway. Golden exception we have to answer, and at the exams, any acute or sudden changes on ECG, needs your attention. So you have to be careful and pay attention for that. So any acute or sudden changes on ECG needs your attention, my beloveds. So this is type 1, or AV block first degree. AV block second degree, my beloveds, AV block second degree, or there is some misunderstanding. Ancient name is a Wenckebach. Wenckebach is a person who described definitions. Who described, that in some features, in some ECG, no, it's a beginning. It's an area of beginning of ECG that in some cases we know that P before every QRS, it's a normal sinus rhythm. It's a sinus rhythm. But sometimes Wenckebach remarked that one of the ventricular contractions or ventricular depolarization is missed. He described that. That's why actually second degree AV block, it's a Wenckebach block. One of the names, Wenckebach block. Also, okay, that's okay, but another guy, whose name is Mobitz, described that sometimes it happened in two versions, in two subtypes, if you want. So Wenckebach phenomena means that we have a P without QRS. P without QRS, remember like this, P without QRS, it's a Wenckebach. That is, we have depolarization of the atria, but there is no depolarization of the ventricles. Physiologically, one contraction of the ventricles is missing. Missed, yes. So Mobitz 1, it's a AV block second degree, subtype 1, Mobitz 1. Mobitz 1 means that PQ interval changes in continuous manner, becomes progressively lengthening of PQ, let it be PR interval, until QRS complex is dropped, the dropping of QRS. So Mobitz 1 is a prolongation of PQ or PR interval. And then we have Wenckebach. Wenckebach phenomena, I repeat, P without QRS. And Mobitz 2, it's a PQ interval. No, some authors said there is no, it's not long. Some authors said it's fixed. Doesn't matter. It's not long. PQ interval is fixed. Longer or not longer doesn't matter in this case of your exams. PQ interval longer and longer and longer, and finally it's dropped. So difference between Mobitz 1 and Mobitz 2. Mobitz 1 is continually, progressively prolongation of PQ interval, and then Wenckebach phenomena, P without QRS, and the type 2 PQ interval is fixed. And then Wenckebach phenomena, I repeat, P without QRS. Electrically we understand, so physiologically what's happening, we have to understand that one ventricle contractions is missing, means there is no blood going to the ventricles. Is it okay? No, of course. What will it go? It's means that blood pressure goes down. If it's a Mobitz 1, it's not drastically, but in Mobitz 2, it's not good at all. So concerning clinical issue of that, they described that Mobitz 1 happening sometimes in athlete's heart, conditioning heart, especially at night. No, maybe. I mean, I repeated several times. I used to work 1/4 century, 25 years in the intensive care units, and I've never seen this pattern in healthy persons. I also, because I worked in the intensive care unit, cardiological care unit, in myocardial infarction unit, heart failure unit. So, of course, every time I see it in emergency situations. But they said that sometimes it happened 50-50, Mobitz 1. So if it's a myocardial infarction, clinical issue of that, we need to manage underlying cause. If it's an athlete's heart, we do nothing. Huh? Okay, so concerning first degree AV block, clinical issue of that, sometimes it's happening when we prescribe some medicals like a beta blockers, a very rare condition, but it happens. Yes, beta blockers can provoke AV block first degree, as the second degree. No, it's one, of course. So what to do if it's iatrogenic? So due to our intervention, of course, we have to eliminate, discharge these beta blockers, not prescribe. Huh? Stop prescribing beta blockers, and after, if it's due to beta blockers, it's in one day it's a disappear. Concerning type 2, of course, is always pathological. Always pathological is very dangerous situation because situation can degrade to complete block, or third degree block, or just heart block. So complete heart block means totally interruption, complete interruption, no connection between SA node and AV node. And in this situation, magic happens. God gives us last chance to survive. AV node starts working as a. We know that normally AV node it's a conductor. Huh? No AV node, it's a conductor. But here it becomes working as a natural pacemaker of second degree. What does it mean second degree? It's not good as first degree. So we see a very interesting situation in AV block, second complete block, heart block. No connection between SA node and AV node. Because there is no connection between the SA node, signals generate normally in SA node, but they can't reach AV node. Even if they reach, they can't go through, and they blocked in AV node. And AV node starts generating its own impulses. So we have two natural pacemakers working at the same time. Of course, there is no more symmetric and synchronous contractions as it happenings in a normal heart. We have two pacemakers, natural pacemaker, of course natural, working at the same time, but there is no any correlation between each other. And what we see on ECG electrically, we see PPPP interval, PPP. There is no more PQ, no more PQ. We see PPP constant and fixed. Everything okay with SA node, no in vast majority of cases. And we see rare QRS. Rare QRS. Why we see this rare QRS? Because this is a second degree. It's not as good as a first degree. And for example, we have 120 beats per minute for P. So P 120 depolarizations of P or P waves in 1 minute, but just 20, 30, or 40 QRS complexes. They are generated not by P but by QRS on ECG. So no correlation. It's a very dangerous situation, and management, my beloveds, is all one and only one. We have to build in, we have to use, embedded if you want, we have to use artificial pacemaker, and very quickly. Artificial pacemaker, of course we manage underlying disease. But we have now it's a situation of why it's very dangerous. So hypoxia of brain, severe hypoxia of brain, 20 beats per minute. It's not okay for brain at all, of course, because ventricle contractions matters. Ventricle contraction matter. And so we need to enter by vein jugularis and enter very quickly to the, of course, the right part, because it's a vein, to the right part of the heart. So right atrium. Of course, we do not fix the artificial pacemaker anchor lead into right atrium. We go through tricuspid valve and fixed our lead of artificial pacemaker into the right ventricle. And ventricles, we start to stimulate right ventricle. And the right ventricle starts to contract. Of course, through Purkinje fibers, energy goes by blockade manner in the left ventricle. But anyway, of course, it's not good contractions, but anyway, it gives a chance to patient to survive. Okay, so clinical issue of complete block is one and only one. It's an artificial pacemaker. No, try to explain it more quickly manner than I explained, because 50 minutes, you don't have 50 minutes to answer. God bless you. See you in another lectures.